morning. We are driving here in Lake Township, Mercer County, Pennsylvania. We are, sorry, I'm trying to get this, hold this straight. We are driving down towards parallel to Sandy Lake. This is the area where the Caldwell brothers lived as settlers. So this first plot of land would have been where Robert Caldwell, the first brother who came in 1797, lived as a settler. Robert unfortunately died when a tree fell on him, as we assume he was helping to build one of the turnpikes, and he died in 1807. And he was able to work as a settler on this land for 5 years, and then sold his settlement rights and got his, can't remember off the top of my head if he got cash or if seems like he sold it to somebody else. Anyway, so then after Robert, we're kind of just jogging up this way. This area is now the city of Stoneboro. At one point, one of the coal mining companies came in and pretty much bought up all this land and mined coal. And now this is the city of Stoneboro. So now we're probably into the land where John Caldwell lived as a settler. Again, he was just south of the lake. And like the other brothers that, lived to adulthood, he moved to Ohio later, and then he moved on to Warren County, Illinois. John is the brother that seems to have been quite active, always in his religion. He was obviously of the Presbyterian faith, and interestingly, the Reverend, yesterday we visited the Rocky Springs Cemetery and church area. The Reverend there, when the Caldwells were participating in that church, was named James Walker. And John Caldwell named his son James Walker Caldwell. And John was very active in starting a Presbyterian church once he moved to Illinois with a man named Adam Ritchie. So we're moving along here. After John's property, once we get out of Stoneboro, was the property that Matthew Caldwell settled. And pan over here, we just passed a little cemetery. We don't know anybody that's buried in there, but you kind of give you an idea of both sides of the street. Matthew Caldwell is the one who moved to Steubenville, Ohio, and spent the rest of his life there. In Steubenville, we visited the area where he lived earlier this week and saw where he was buried in the cemetery there. Steubenville is where the land office was, and some records say that Jane was born in Steubenville. So this is now called School Road. So we're just about to leave the area that Matthew settled, and then there was an empty 400-acre tract, and then it was the last tract was where Joseph settled. So we'll just finish driving down this road. Later, a brother named William, who married into the, I probably can't say it right, Zanzizer family. He was a blacksmith, and he was in Pittsburgh, but in 1833 he came back and actually settled in Lake Township. He had a lot. We just visited this morning where a lot of Amish people are still living on the edge of Lake Township, and then he actually had the lot where Robert was originally a settler as well. So we're just coming up here to the end of the Caldwell family land. There's a cemetery, Oakdale I think it's called, this trip.